landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
Hello, guys. Good afternoon. First of all, thank you for joining. I hope that you all guys are feeling well today. So, yeah, while waiting for the time for us to officially start the today's sessions, just give us a minute to let more people to come in. Yeah, we'll be starting the sessions very, very soon. And of course, while we are still waiting for the others to join in, feel free to share this live flow so that more people can participate in today's sessions because we're going to share you a lot of thoughtful and interesting knowledge for today. By the way, we will have an exclusive program to be given away to you today by the end of this webinar. So if you are interested to know more what that is, please stay until the end of this webinar. All right, we'll be starting our sessions in 5 minutes later. So please bear with us while we make the final preparations and in case some people want to join in the last minute, okay? Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our webinar series for today. So if you are new in this room, we've been running a webinar series that covered 4 episodes. And each of the episodes, we're talking about mobile device management with different industry and sectors in Malaysia. As for today, we are going to talk about transforming governance at grassroots level, role of MDM solutions, which is focusing on the mobile device management implementations in governance sector. But before we proceed with our sessions, so let me give you a quick overview of today's webinar. So as for today, we are going to talk about mobile device management in the governance sector together with our business partners Scalefusion in order to provide you further exposure on all you need to know about MDM within your industry. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about Syndes. So basically, Syndes is one of the local companies in Malaysia who provides mobile device management. And we are experts in all aspects of device management, including securing devices, mobility devices, and increasing productivity within organizations and enterprises. And if you are keen to know more about Syndes, you may check us out through our website, as you can see on the screen there. So my name is Hani, and I'm a host for today's sessions. Allow me to share you a little bit on what you will learn in these sessions. So in today's sessions, our speaker will expose you on the current industry landscape, the challenges faced by the governance sector, specific features of Scalefusion which will help you in overcoming challenges of this industry. Not only that, they will also share you a live demo of the key features on Scalefusion dashboard, as well as the snippet of the successful case with real-life examples of the governance sector of firms using Scalefusion. And after that, as usual, we'll be proceeding with the FAQ questions with the host and the guest speaker, followed by the Q&A sessions openly for audiences. Well, before I start to introduce you to our guest speaker for today, if you do have any questions, you can leave your questions in the chat box down below. Also, we have an exclusive program to be given away for you guys today. So if you want to know more what that is, please stay until the end. Okay, let me introduce you to our guest speaker for today. So, yeah, here is Mr. Sharath, one of our mobile device management experts from Scalefusion. He'll be sharing with you more on all that matter regarding the mobile device management within your governance sector and how actually mobile device management can help you to streamline and enhance your productivity in your company. So, let's start the sharing session now. I think all of us are ready, right? So, welcome back to Mr. Sharath. I'll toss this to you.
Thanks a lot, Hani. Thanks a lot for the introduction, and I hope I am audible. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening to one and all from wherever you're joined. My name is Sharath, and I handle the sales side of things for the APAC region at Scale Fusion. Uh, to give a bit of a background about Scale Fusion is a mobile device management solution that caters to all kinds of deployments, be it Android, iOS, Windows, or Mac devices. That is a quick overview about Scalefusion, and I would like to thank uh, Cindes for organizing this particular webinar. And Cindes is our partner for Malaysia, and we have been associated with them for quite some time now. They are a mobility expert, and we look forward to presenting few use cases on how exactly can Scale Fusion help out in your company for your mobility needs. To start off with, like Hani has given an introduction, this is our third part of the four episode webinar. The first one was Scale Fusion, mobile device management or mobility trends and how exactly it is faring in the manufacturing industry, followed by transportation and logistic industry, and how exactly can Scale Fusion come into the foray in mitigating the challenges seen and how to make sure that the life of an IT admin within these industries is easier through a mobile device management solution. Without any further delay, let me quickly start sharing my screen. And the topic for today, like Hani has mentioned, driving greater productivity with mobile device management for the government sector or the governance sector. So government, this sector is one of the most talked about sector when it comes to mobile device management, and we'll showcase on what exactly is the current scenario, what are the challenges, how exactly can Scale Fusion come into the picture. The agenda, like Hani has mentioned, the starting of the webinar is I'll like to reiterate once again the MDM trend. How exactly is MDM or the enterprise mobility sector evolving across the globe? Government sector or the governance, basically this particular industry which is related to governments across the globe. What are the challenges when they are deploying any kind of device, be it Windows, Android, or any kind of iOS or Mac devices? iOS and Mac devices are rarely seen, but mostly we always see Android and Windows devices. What are the challenges? How exactly will an MDM overcome these challenges, and where exactly does Scale Fusion MDM come into the picture? These will be the main focus areas. At any point of time, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to mention it on the chat box. We will be able to answer all those questions in the end of this webinar. Before that, we'll also showcase a quick snippet of or a quick demo of Scale Fusion, wherein we will be showcasing what are the main features or what are the key features that will come into the foray when it comes, or that will come into the foray, or which needs to be addressed when it comes to the government sector. To start off with, the post-pandemic world, enterprise mobility has changed a lot over the past couple of years. The adaptation of mobile devices in the sense any kind of endpoint, be it an Android device or a Windows laptop or a POS machine or a smartphone or a tablet, the usage of these devices has increased, and enterprises and many other industries across the globe are embracing tools and techniques to make sure the mobility needs are taken care of. Due to the various endpoint usage, having a mobile device management solution, not just for asset tracking or for enforcing policies, is not the only thing, but to ensure that there is no business interruption, or to ensure that there is no maintenance issues. That is where an MDM comes into picture. Mobile device management helps in streamlining any kind of mobility needs, be it big or small. This is one of the two polls that we're going to have. We wanted all the attendees, webinar attendees, to answer this. So, are you using any MDM solution at your organization currently? Let us know. If it's a yes, you are, but you're also evaluating other solution. If not using anything, but looking for a solution. So we have 30 seconds for this poll, and we are getting quite a good number of responses. Uh, the many of them, almost all the folks have answered that they're not using anything and looking for a solution. So that's good to know. So maybe this is one of the sessions that may help you out in answering any questions that you may have when it comes to using MDM for your organization. So we have 10 seconds left now. We have 9, 8. Let me get the responses from all the folk. Okay, we are getting all the responses. Okay, we have 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's about it. The poll has ended, and we have got the result. As far as what I see, the majority of the responses is not using anything but looking for a solution. So I hope this particular webinar session will be helpful in making sure that your uh, Scale Fusion as an MDM in collaboration with Syndes would be the right solution for you. Now, to start off with the webinar, how exactly is the government sector? What's the current landscape? So, post pandemic, even before the pandemic, there were a lot of government agencies or government departments across the globe that were distributing mobile devices to either their employees or as part of their campaigns, give it to the necessary people within a particular department to ensure that their field force is provided with the necessary tools and amenities to ensure that the vital data can be captured. So post pandemic has only accelerated it, and digitization has become a must have for the government sector. Government sector, there are various aspects and various things that come into the picture, but in essentiality, they always want to talk about the digital approach when it comes to telehealth or telework or virtual courts or virtual education, or basically to ensure that the citizen facing folks or the ground level workers are equipped with the necessary mobility needs or necessary endpoints to ensure that their work related tasks can be accomplished very easily. Now, what are the lingering challenges whenever an endpoints are being deployed across government agencies, or basically what exactly will the challenges they will be facing? First and the foremost, they need to embrace mobility, and when they're embracing mobility, these are the main challenges that are seen. There are about 8 to 9 challenges that we see. First of which, large scale deployment. So whenever we talk about MDM requirement or a device requirement when it comes to the government sector, the number of devices are usually in thousands, if not if sometimes even in millions as well. So deploying and provisioning large device inventory through effective, efficient security and management, this is a greater challenge. Let's just say if there are 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, or 500,000 devices, how exactly can I deploy, or how exactly can I enroll it with an MDM and give it across my field force? That is a major task. Furthermore, since the number of devices are more, how exactly can these devices be grouped for a certain province or a certain department or a certain, let's just say, a certain area? How exactly can I further subgroup these? How exactly can I enforce policy for specific entities? All those aspects also come into the picture, which is a major challenge as well. Now, once the devices are deployed on the field, how exactly can the devices be can the troubleshooting be done in case there is some issue, hardware issue or software issue? How exactly can that be resolved in a quick manner, and to make sure that the support ticket can be mitigated to the as least as possible, as less as possible? Also, ensuring network security to make sure that there is uninterrupted internet access, whether there is a VPN involved, or there's any other kind of networking interface involved. How to ensure that the encrypted connection between device and network is does not breach any kind of security policy or a compliance policy, and to ensure uninterrupted access. One more major thing is tracking real-time location. Now, let's just say once the devices are deployed on the field, where exactly are the devices? What are my users? Where exactly are they? Where exactly have they been through? How exactly to get the report on the real-time location? This is something that is also a major challenge. One of the major things that we see in the government sector is to host the MDM solution on the on-premise on the data centers or of the government agency. The world is moving towards on cloud. However, government generally deals with a lot of uh, uh, lot of significant data, or what we say, a lot of confidential data, to ensure that this particular data does not move out of the particular data centers. On-premise provisioning or on-premise setup is required. So the traditional way of hosting a particular solution on the servers and the networks of the of the government agency, that is a major requirement. However, we are seeing adaptation to on cloud as well, but that will take a year or so for the for on cloud solution to be adapted completely by government agencies across the globe. Furthermore, once the devices are grouped and subgrouped, how exactly can a role-based access can be given to various admins or various co-account manager depending upon the permission? That is the super admin. What kind of permissions do they want to give or limit based on the policy configuration? One more thing: once the field force are equipped with these endpoints, the government always mandates that it should all devices should be locked with certain apps or certain websites to avoid misuse and distraction. So employee productivity also comes into the picture, and installing or uninstalling applications should also be limited. Last but not the least, to ensure corporate policy compliance, be it any kind of IT compliance or any kind of general compliance, and to ensure routine checks or of the enterprise policies are taken care of. These are the 9 lingering challenges that are generally seen in the government sector. Now, this is where Scalefusion comes into picture. Like I started off, Scalefusion is designed to resolve any kind of use case that our customers may have. So we provide a secure and intuitive and a scalable MDM solution that helps organization and including government agencies across the globe in securely managing and remotely managing endpoints, be it anything: smartphone, laptops, tablets, rugged devices, MPOS, digital signages running on any OS platform, be it Android, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Linux is a work in progress. Windows 10 and Mac devices are also seen, and these are the main OS platforms that we generally see. Be it any kind of deployment that the government agencies want, Scalefusion is always there, and scaling at a higher level as well. Scalefusion is one of the foremost MDM solution providers across the globe that can help in this matter. Now, what are the salient features of Scalefusion MDM? The salient features I also want to basically ensure that the lingering challenges that have been mentioned, how exactly can Scalefusion overcome all those challenges? Now, the first and foremost thing is ease of remote provisioning. Let's just say if there are a large fleet of devices that are there, how exactly can these devices be enrolled? So we have intuitive solutions like zero touch enrollment for Android and especially for Samsung devices. We have Knox manage enrollment, wherein we can automate or we can make sure that large number of devices can easily be enrolled with Scalefusion. When it comes to Apple devices, we have a DP program. When it comes to Windows, we have Windows Autopilot. So when I mention about Apple DP program, it encompasses iOS and Mac devices. So be it any kind of devices, we can ensure that the provisioning or enrolling of these devices with Scalefusion is seamless, easy, and right at the time of unboxing, it can be done. So we have seen in cases where few government agencies have been able to enroll 30,000 to 35,000 devices in a single day as well. So be it any kind of device deployment that is there, Scalefusion is right then and there. And to also manage the over-the-air updates on these devices, that is where Scalefusion comes into the picture. Furthermore, device monitoring and asset tracking. Asset tracking as a solution, or monitoring or asset management software. This is one of the hidden gems within an MDM solution, wherein asset tracking or asset management is also possible through Scalefusion. So we can track. When I mention assets over here, these are nothing but endpoints. That is nothing but a smartphone or a tablet or a laptop, be it whatever it is. Tracking them on the real time and monitor whenever required. That is where Scalefusion comes into picture. And to tag these assets based on a certain asset ID that is predefined by the government agency or any other relevant tags or any other custom fields. So that is possible to be tagged in Scalefusion and to ensure streamlined asset management. Next comes the remote troubleshooting. So we have a feature called as remote cast and control, through which an IT admin or an MDM admin sitting at point A can ensure that any number of devices that are there on the field, if there is any problem, you can take a remote of the device, can check out what exactly is the problem, can take a recording of that problem, or can take a screenshot of that, assign a ticket, or if possible, right over this remote session, can troubleshoot the necessary things without having the device transported from any of those points to the IT admin. So reducing device downtime by having a real-time troubleshooting mechanism. That is where Scalefusion comes into picture. To ensure corporate data security, that is to remotely locate the device in case if there has been any data breach, or in case that there is something, the data has been compromised or the device has been lost or stolen, we can lock the device, wipe the data, factory reset the data, and to ensure sensitive information can be protected. To also ensure misuse of the devices, which is a major thing that or a major problem that is seen in the government sector, wherein the devices that are there, since the number of devices are large, to ensure that the devices are not misused, to ensure that the devices are not sold into the open market, we can enforce policy in such a way that without certain credentials, or we can ensure that the device cannot be misused
Recording in progress.
by blocking the necessary factory reset, or by blocking the factory reset option, or by blocking the hard reset, by blocking the safe mode, and to also enforce factory reset protection to prevent misuse of lost or stolen devices, and to also ensure that without the users cannot do anything to ensure the MDM software can be removed and can be sold into the open market. The next is automated report to ensure that the devices are the vitals of the device and the security incidents can be captured properly. Automated reports and dynamic reports should be the IT admin should be able to generate that at any given point of time, and also to generate compliance alerts and automated workflow. That is where our automated report comes into the picture. Furthermore, since the number of devices are very large, grouping and subgrouping of the devices is very much required. So if let's just say, for an example, if there are 100,000 devices and they need to be bifurcated to certain provinces or certain states, or let's just say certain departments within a government agency, and further subgroup it based on whatever requirement that the government agency may have. Subgrouping and grouping of the device is very much required, and to also ensure that necessary admins can be assigned to these groups, that is also possible through Scalefusion. And few of the features that applies to the government sector along with the other sector is the app and content filtering, basically to restrict the devices with selective government apps or websites, to ensure that the employees are not distracted and they do not misuse the device, and to also ensure there are no malware attacks or as such by accessing any unwanted website. This becomes a critical feature to restricting the tablets or restricting the smartphone or restricting the laptops to certain apps and browsers, that is possible through Scalefusion. One of the other thing is custom branding. uh, the requirement over here always comes into picture that that the government agency wants to add their own wallpaper, lock screen logo, or their own brand logo on all these devices, and it should be dynamically changed, and the user should not be able to do anything on that front. So custom branding is also possible, wherein the wallpaper, the app logo, to reflect the government agency's required branding, that can be done. Also on few of the devices that we have, for example, Samsung, Lenovo, and Acer devices, we can also enforce boot and shutdown animation, as in we can customize that. We'll showcase this in our later part of the webinar. Furthermore, role-based access, so creating different groups and subgroups, and also assigning the necessary roles for the IT admins, and limit the necessary kind of or limit their access to certain groups or certain subgroups, and to define what role do they play in managing the devices. That can be done through our role-based access. Couple of key differentiators that also helps in making sure that the challenges are mitigated, that only that Scalefusion provides, which no other MDM provides, is on-prem support and team communication. On-prem support, many of the MDMs are going towards on-cloud only, and they're scraping away the on-prem support. However, we at Scalefusion believe that on-premise support is very much required, where the Scalefusion as a solution needs to be hosted in the data center or the servers provided by the government agency. So Scalefusion, we have a dedicated DevOps DevOps team, security team, and the implementation team to ensure that our solution can be seamlessly integrated or can be seamlessly hosted onto any kind of data center or any kind of server access that the government agency provides. And this is not just limited to a certain geography. Let's just say our company is headquartered in India, but let's just say a government agency somewhere in US wants the solution to be hosted on their data center in US. It can seamlessly be done. The next is team communication suite, team communication tool. We have a team communication tool that is inbuilt within Scalefusion, which no other MDM provides across the globe. So through this, we can through this team communication suite, we can mitigate the usage of WhatsApp or Skype or Viber or WeChat kind of a thing, wherein team communication suite is integrated within Scalefusion. Grouping of the devices can be done to ensure groups like WhatsApp groups can be created. We can also make sure VIP call or instant messaging, the necessary notes can also be shared. That is, the IT admin can share it with the device users. Device to device chat can also be enabled, and to communicate the necessary messages from the Scalefusion dashboard to one device, 10 device, 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 devices within a single click. That can be done through team communication suite. One more thing is, why exactly team communication suite is required. Let's just say if a particular device user is on the field and he's facing some problem, he can just message the IT admin to take to basically help him out, and necessary actions can be taken. Team communication along with a remote troubleshooting as a feature can work, can actually sort of make sure the necessary downtime and the necessary communication is always communicated, and it becomes very vital. And this is one of the differentiators that Scalefusion has over other MDM providers. Now, these were few of the features. Now, coming to the OEM partners. Scalefusion partners with prominent OEMs across the globe. Why exactly am I mentioning this? Devices are the forefront, or devices are the conduit for MDM to run in a smooth manner. So having an OEM partnership wherein technically our solution is integrated with OEMs or device manufacturer, it gives the government agencies ease of or basically a peace of mind that they can actually kind of procure any kind of devices possible. And if they want to ensure they want to procure various devices from various OEMs, it can be done. But only one MD, but if they want to manage it through just one MDM, Scalefusion is the answer. So with our integrated partnership with few of these OEMs, we can ensure Scalefusion provides uninterrupted or basically enhanced security features to ensure that Scalefusion runs smoothly on these devices, and these devices being managed by Scalefusion can easily be managed by the IT admin at any point of time. To cap off with things, what are the Scalefusion capabilities? Like I mentioned, we provide support on Android devices, iOS devices, Mac, and Windows 10. Be it any kind of deployment that the government agency or the government sectors across the globe want, we will be able to provide. We will be able to provide necessary assistance. Specifically, when it comes to the APAC region and Malaysia as a market, we are seeing various government agencies trying to digitize their field force with the necessary endpoints. That is where Scalefusion, along with the partnership with Syndes, comes into picture. Now that we are done with the now that we have showcased a few of the features, let me just give a quick glimpse of the various features that we have just discussed on the Scalefusion dashboard. I hope my screen is visible. So this is the Scalefusion dashboard. The I am presently showcasing Scalefusion live over our cloud solution. Our on-premise solution also will be in a similar lines. It is just that the solution will be hosted on the data center of the government agencies. That's the only difference. Other than that, all the functionalities and everything is the same. All the features of Scalefusion are mentioned on the left hand side, and the first section that we generally see is the Scalefusion deep dive. Scalefusion deep dive gives in the necessary overview. Right now this is my test account on which I have a few devices enrolled. So in case if there are thousands of devices enrolled, Scalefusion deep dive gives a general information on what are the devices, or basically a deep dive, or provides a necessary inventory snapshot, so that the necessary information can be accessed right from the word get go. So what are the different make and models? What are the platforms? What are the OS versions? What are the device activity? What's the available storage on the devices? What's the battery in the form of pictorial representation? What are the violations, if any? When was the devices last connected? What was the data usage? What are the necessary internal storage and external storage spaces that are there? These are the things that we generally see in the Scalefusion deep dive section. Moving on, to focus more on the deployment side of things, like I mentioned, Scalefusion is our Android certified, Android enterprise certified, or Android certified MDM solution provider, which has been recognized by Android, due to which we also have Android zero touch, and Samsung, and for Samsung devices, Samsung KME integrated within Scalefusion. The integration is pretty seamless. This generally helps in bulk deployment, or making sure that the devices purchased in bulk, be it thousands of devices, can easily be integrated or enrolled with Scalefusion. So right from opening up the device from the box, we can ensure that Scalefusion is there on the device, and we can ensure that the devices can easily be enrolled with Scalefusion, and making sure the deployment time is as less as possible. So this is in terms of Android. When it comes to Apple devices, we have a DEP program, through a DEP program we can ensure similar kind of thing for Android that we have for called zero touch enrollment can be done. On Windows devices, we have Windows Autopilot, through which we can ensure that zero touch kind of a feature is available on the Windows devices. Now coming to, once a device is enrolled with Scalefusion, this is where it is seen. This is the devices section. We have two views over here. Right now I have three devices. This is a grid view and this is the list view. We can make sure that we can search the devices. There is a basic search, there is an advanced search, and in the list view we can ensure the necessary fields can be accessed. So right now there are few predefined fields that are there. To showcase what are these fields, these are the predefined fields. For example, the device name, OS, was the CPU usage, was the connection info, was the CPU temperature, was the firewall, if any, if what's the IP address, whether the device is licensed or not, when was it last seen, what was its last address and longitude, was the data usage. All of these are predefined fields. Let's just say if any kind of custom field is required, we can easily set something called as a custom field over here. All we need to do is add a field over here. For example, I'll make it as an example as a field, and I can just click on save. This example as a field, if we want it somewhere over here, we can easily do it. So I can customize the table view. I can search for example. I can just click on this over here, and if I want it right next to the device name, I can do this. I can save it, and I can see this particular custom field. So any kind of custom field that the government agencies want, we can add it. And how to define the values, we can simply again go to the set custom fields, click on the field value, download a CSV, input all the necessary details and upload it back, and boom, we will have all the necessary information populated over here. And this information can be dynamically changed at any point of time. Moving on, if we go into the individual devices, there are few capabilities that are there. Basically, we can get the full device information from this section. be it full device information in the sense what's the make, model, OS version of individual devices, network info, what is the online status, what's the Wi-Fi SSID it's connected to, what's the nearby Wi-Fi, if there is SIM card, what's the SIM card uh, IMEI number available, what's the network operator, storage info, all this information is available over here. Alongside, we can also perform certain individual device level actions like unlocking the device, refreshing the device, adding a necessary note, sending a one-way message, set any kind of custom property. So for example, if you have set the device custom field, we can ensure that we can set the necessary, for example, we had created one example over here. We can set the necessary value over here as well. Furthermore, we can also lock the devices, that is lock the device screen, reboot the device. On few of the Samsung 11 Nova devices, we can shut down the device, we can factory reset the device, we can delete the device as well. So these are the individual things that can be done. Alongside, if we want to do these things in bulk, we can select the necessary devices and we can lock, unlock, refresh the policies, lock the device screen, reboot, rename, and shut down the device or delete the device as well. So this as a feature can also be done. Furthermore, when it comes to grouping of devices, we can also, let's just say if we want to move a selected device from a selected group to some other group, we can always do that. So moving of devices from one group to the other group can also be done. Moving on, for remote troubleshooting purposes, we have this remote cast feature which is available, through which we can start a remote session. We can do this from this section, or we have a remote cast available over here as well. And on the left hand side, we can just start a session and ensure that we can take a remote of the device whenever required. In this remote session, we can ensure that this is a Lenovo tablet that I have, which I'm taking a remote. We can ensure we can take a recording of this, access the file directly. The internal storage can be accessed. We can download and upload the files. We can take a screenshot. We can start a recording. We can also make sure that a ticket can be created, be it a Jira or a ServiceNow. Any kind of ticketing tool can be aside. If we need to unlock the device from Scalefusion to diagnose the necessary things, that can be done. If we even want to have a VoIP call as well, we can also call the device users to ensure seamless remote management or remote troubleshooting can be done through remote cast and control. Furthermore, individually on the devices, we can check out what the device location is. So basically, if I click over here, I can get to know the address. And if I click on this section, we can easily see where exactly the device has been moving around. So if I want, I can select the day, whether the device is moving or not moving. We can ensure that we can track where the device is at any point of time, from point A to point B to point C, and all of those things. Furthermore, if the devices are dispersed across location, we can, on the left hand side, we can go to the location section and we can ensure that over a map, we can check out where the devices are. If I want to search where a particular device is, I can simply click on search. I can get this information. And if I click on more details, I will get all the necessary information in terms of longitude, latitude, and a particular address. And the same thing can be generated over report in our reports and workflow section, which I'll go through in some time. Furthermore, like I mentioned, we have few advanced security features wherein we can ensure that we can block the hard reset or factory reset of the device. So we can allow user to factory reset the device. We can disallow it. We can disallow booting of the device in safe mode. Furthermore, we also have something called as factory reset protection. Factory reset protection is one of the ways in which we can ensure the device misuse can be mitigated. More on this can be checked out once you sign up for a trial of Scalefusion. So do check out factory reset protection when you're trialing Scalefusion. Moving on, we have a group section. Basically, we can group the devices. Creating a group is very easy. We can just click on something called as a test. We can submit it. We can choose a predefined group. We can choose the necessary devices in the group, assign a necessary device profile, and add an admin wherever required. So for example, if I just add a particular device group, I've created a device group. Within this test device group, I can ensure that I can add subgroup as well. And we can subgroup the test. If we can ensure we can add unlimited number of subgroup. For example, test subgroup. If I create this, I submit it. I can further make sure that I can add devices in the subgroup, choose a necessary device profile, and I can also add the necessary admins over here. So let me create a subgroup. So furthermore, to add a particular admin, we have an admin panel on the left hand side wherein we can add the admins and roles. Also, we have a profile section over here wherein we can add the admin roles. So if I click over here, if I want to add any kind of admin, I can just enter the name, email, and select a list of row. For example, if I want to create a group admin, I can select the group. For example, we have created called as a test group just now. Or if I want to create a test subgroup or assign it for test subgroup, you can easily do it. I can click on apply. I can add the name. I can add the email. I can select the date on when this particular account expires. Once I click on submit, we'll see something like this, and a separate login ID and a password or login credentials will go to this particular email ID, email address, and they can access the Scalefusion dashboard, but with necessary restrictions that has been mandated by the super admins. We have custom roles that can be created as well. We have few predefined roles, but we can also create necessary custom roles as well wherever required. And one of the few things that Scalefusion also provides is unlimited admin access as well. So we can create unlimited any number of admins and access, give them a role based access wherever required. Furthermore, on the left hand side, we have reports and workflow section as well. So there are various reports available. For example, data usage report, location report, app version, device inventory, so on and so forth, screen time, how long has a device been used, what application has been used. All these things are available, and we can also schedule the reports as well wherever required. So we can easily create a schedule, and we can ensure that the reports such as these can come to the IT admin or the super admin's email automatically at the end of the day or the starting of the day or mid of the day. Furthermore, there are a lot of workflows or compliances as well that are there. These are few automated tasks or automated features that are available within Scalefusion. So for example, let's just say if I want to set a schedule to reboot the device, we can ensure that the device reboots automatically without any kind of manual interventions required. We can clear the app data for certain apps whenever required. We can create a battery compliance. Let's just say to display a message on the device saying the device needs to be charged, the device battery percentage is less than 20%. We can set a message. We can also ensure an alert is sent to the IT admin to ensure to keep them notified that what exactly the battery status on the device. So necessary reports, necessary IT automated tools can easily be done. One of the main automated workflow that IT automation that we have is device report. We can ensure that the device report with the necessary properties can easily be sent to the IT admin or any other email that they want with the necessary properties. So let's just say if the IT admin wants, by end of the day they want like a status update report, this will come into handy, and this can be made sure that this arrives onto the necessary email addresses of necessary IT folks. Furthermore, we have an application management section wherein we have Google Play Store integration, that is Play for Works section. For Apple, we have Apple Play Store. For Windows, we have Windows Business Store. Through this, we can ensure that necessary Google Play Store applications can be published onto the necessary devices, and we can also monitor the status whether the application is installed on particular device on the field or not. This will particularly come in handy whenever there are large number of devices to check the status, and the same can be downloaded as part of a CSV. So in case with this, we can ensure that the users do not install any unwanted apps. We can enforce that only certain Play for Work apps or Google Play Store apps that the IT admin wants these folks to use, only those are there on the device. They will not be able to uninstall these a particular application, nor will they be able to install anything. Let's just say it's a very critical app which is not hosted on any of these platforms, we can simply upload, if it's an Android app, we can simply upload the APK file. If it's an iOS app, we can simply upload the IPA file. If it's an Windows app, either an MSI, UWP, or EXE file can be added. And if it's a Mac device, we can ensure the necessary file or the application can be added and can be published silently onto the device to ensure that there is no user intervention that is required. Updating of the app is also very easy. We can easily upload, or we can simply publish the app, and we can ensure that the updates can be backtracked wherever required. Let's just say if there is something wrong on the device, So this is how we can ensure that the private app or internal app of the government agencies can be remotely configured through Scalefusion dashboard. Furthermore, we have a branding section as well. A branding section is a section where we can ensure that we can enter a brand name. We can replace the Scalefusion by anything, for example, government agency, just to give an example. Furthermore, on Android devices, we can ensure this particular top bar color can be changed. The brand logo, wherever you see Scalefusion, can be changed. Lock screen logo can be added. Up wallpaper can be added. We can further go into the advanced section. We can hide the app label. We can ensure the app icon text color and the app icon label color is also managed in a seamless way possible. Furthermore, we can also hide we can make sure that the top bar can also be made as transparent, and necessary branding can be done, and it can be dynamically changed by the MDM admin at any point of time. Furthermore, we also on few of the devices like Lenovo, Samsung, and Acer devices, we can ensure that the boot and shutdown animation can also be dynamically changed at any point of time. Moving on, like I mentioned, we have two features which are differentiators. That is team communication tool and on-premise setup. So team communication tool is a hidden gem that we have, which I do not want to showcase more over here, but this is the section that we see, EVA communication suite, and it is seen over here as well. I will not go too much into it. To know more about our team communication suite, right after our webinar, please sign up for a trial. You can reach out to our partners Syndes to know more about this. And from the on-prem side of the things, please do contact Syndes, and through them we will be able to provide you the necessary on-prem assistance wherever required. So this is a quick overview of the Scalefusion dashboard. Let me come back to the webinar session over here. This is the PPT. I hope the webinar, I hope the quick peek into Scalefusion is helpful enough to ensure that you can you all folks can trial Scalefusion and check it out to ensure it is suitable for your mobility needs. So now that you have seen a live demo of Scalefusion and we have showcased few of the features and few of the challenges that are seen, would you like to explore Scalefusion as a solution as an option for your device management infrastructure? Let us know if it's a yes, no, or maybe. This is last of our polls. We are getting a lot of yes and maybe. That's great. We have around 15 seconds left. We are getting a lot of yes and maybe, so that's good to know. I hope the webinar was good enough to entice you to try out Scalefusion. We have about 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The poll has ended. We have got the necessary answers from all you folks. There are a lot of maybes and yeses. It's good to know there are no no's. I'm happy for that. So to make sure we can convert this maybe to a yes, please reach out to our partners Syndes to know more, and we will be able to assist you with in the POC and to ensure that all your answers are taken care of. Now let's go back to the Q&A session. We'll answer all your questions. Now let me stop sharing and I'll pass on the baton to Hani from the Syndes team.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sharaz. It was a very, very great sharing for us all. Now, I think based on what Sharaz has been presenting to us just now, MDM is quite important for business growth due to the current era that we're living in right now, right? So yeah, now is the turn for the Q&A sessions. I'm going to read some of the frequently asked questions about mobile device management in this governance sector to Mr. Sharaf, and I hope that he can answer most of the common questions everyone has before we proceed the Q&A sessions from the live audience letter. But before that, if you guys do have any questions on MDM, or maybe you have any inquiries or questions that based on what Mr. Sharas has been presenting to us just now, you may drop your questions in the chat session below, and we'll be gathering all your questions for the next Q&A sessions afterwards, all right? So, and also, please don't forget to stay until the end of this webinar if you are keen to know more about an exclusive program that I've been mentioning about earlier on. All right, we'll be revealing more about that soon at the end of the session. So, Mr. Sharath, here's the first questions from me. How can we enforce policies for personal and corporate owned devices?
That's a very good question, Honey. Uh, the situation always is different when it comes to corporate owned devices and personal devices. So Scale Fusion basically segregates this into COD or company owned device scenario and BYOD or bring your own device scenario. So device profile, which is something that is there on Scale Fusion, is the backbone of the security policies on all these devices. So for company owned devices, we have certain set of policies wherein we can restrict the device completely because it's a company-owned asset, and the IT admin can enforce strict policies or moderate policies or light policies. When it comes to personal devices or BYOD, we have a separate device profile that can be created and can be tagged. This particular device profile has a limited is limited. The reason being, personal devices of the users are being used, and Android has worked diligently for the past 5 years to ensure the BYOD side of the things are taken care of. In this, we can ensure that a separate sandboxing is created between the work apps and the personal apps. So the MDM admin will not have any access to the personal side of the things. Let's just say WhatsApp or any kind of other kind of feature apps are being used on the personal front. The MDM admin will have no access to that. Only the work side of the things, let's just say any business critical app, business critical website, or emails like a Gmail or Outlook or anything as such, if only those particular apps, if the IT admin wants to assign it, a separate work profile is created, and the IT admin can only track, manage these apps only, nothing else. This ensures that there is proper sandboxing between the personal side and the work side. We can also ensure the work apps can be devoid of any camera usage, taking screenshot, or taking out the data, or migrating the data from the work side to the personal side. So this ensures that the corporate data is secure, and this ensures that even the device users are also happy because personal side of the things are not tracked. To cap it off, Scale Fusion will be able to provide any kind of assistance, be it corporate owned devices or personal devices.
Oh, that's great to know that. And yeah, I'm also wondering, how can MDM software actually help our employees to securely accomplish work-related tasks on their personal devices itself?
Perfect. That's a very good question once again, Honey. So now, post-pandemic or pre-pandemic as well, accessing business apps, or when employees are on the go, they want to access business apps on their phone, or business critical documents or business critical websites on their phone. So on the personal devices, of course, if the IT admin gives an access, this basically makes sure that this particular there may be a compromise on the data, there may be a data breach, there may be a network fluctuation, or basically IT admin will not have any hold on what exactly is happening. So to ensure that the IT admin has an access on how exactly the business apps are used by their employees on their personal device, that is where BYOD or personal devices come into the foray. Like I mentioned, separate sandboxing is created. One of the major aspects, or one of the major things that Android has worked on the BYOD side of the things is to password protect the work profile on the personal device, to make sure that the users can also switch off the work profile, to ensure notifications or messages from the personal side can also be restricted. Basically, a perfect work-life balance can be created while also ensuring the IT admin is calm enough, or is having some kind of confidence that the data is not misused. So in these ways, basically the device users can be very happy that the personal side of the things are not touched, and only the work side of things are being accessed by the IT admin. There is proper sandboxing that is there, and they also have the confidence that they are not being tracked all the time, and there is no access for these IT admins for the personal labs. So in this way, the personal devices of the users that are being used, they are very much happy to basically ensure that the device gets enrolled with an MDM, and they are also happy, and the IT admin are also happy. To cap it off, ScaleFusion has the capability to ensure that the BYOD scenario can be taken care of diligently.
All right, let's say if I want to apply different policies to different profiles, is it possible to apply multiple profiles to devices?
Yes, before enrolling a device with Scalefusion, or even after enrolling a device with Scalefusion, let's just say if it has just one profile, if the user, if the IT admin wants to add a different profile or different policies for different devices, they can surely do that. Let it be one device, 100 device, thousands or hundreds of thousands of devices. Any number of device profiles can be added and the devices can be grouped accordingly.
All right, that is very, very great. So this is going to be my last questions. Nowadays, as we know that business use apps on mobile devices to enable end users to work from anywhere, right? And this capability of allowing users to run CRM apps, custom apps built internally, or just about any app that organizations would like their employees to use is actually important to consider when selecting an MDM product. So I wonder what types of apps that can actually be integrated with an MDM solutions.
So rightly so, that's a very good question. Rightly so, showcase in the demo as well. Let it be any kind of app, let it be hosted on Google Play Store or Apple App Store or Windows Business Store, or even if it's not hosted over there, if it's a private app as well, we can ensure that the apps can be remotely configured and over the air silent installation can be done. So any kind of app based on any kind of business needs can be easily remotely configured and pushed onto the devices at any point of time through Scalefusion.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sharath. That was a very in-depth and knowledgeable answer for us all here. So that's all for the Q&A sessions with our guest speaker. Now we are opening the Q&A sessions with our audience. So again, if you guys do have any questions, you can feel free to drop your questions in the chat section below. I believe that Mr. Sharath is pleased to answer all of the questions later. So let's see what is the
Definitely.
first questions that we have in the chat box here. It's from Henry Fu. He asked, how do we want to manage the employee-owned phones connecting to our resources?
Could you please repeat that question? I did not get that.
He asked, how do we want to manage the employee-owned phones connecting to our resources?
Okay, that's a very good question. So this is from the BYOD side of the things as well. So basically, there is a certain procedure that is involved to enroll a BYOD device. So firstly, we'll have to create a device profile on Scalefusion. We need to tag this device profile with an enrollment configuration. This enrollment configuration is sent via an email to the email or the email address of the user who wants or the employees whose personal phone is being used. It has a certain set of instruction, which is very easy process. Once the device gets enrolled, a separate work profile is created. In this work profile, whatever apps and resources that you want to provision will be seen, and you as an IT admin, Henry, will have access to these work apps. To know more of how to enroll a device with Scalefusion and to employee-owned device or BYOD device with Scalefusion, and what are the policies or the security features that are available, please do get in contact with Cindes and they'll be able to assist you accordingly.
Yeah, that's right. You can contact us if you do have any inquiries regarding that. All right. So as for the next questions here is from Nakita Salsabila Zain. How can you make sure my personal data will not interfere with work-related data?
That's a good question, Nakita. To answer it, like I mentioned, a sandbox or a barrier, we can call it as a physical barrier, is created whenever can be created on the work profile and the personal profile on the BYOD devices. So basically, we can ensure that the sharing of data or sharing of any kind of business critical features or business critical documents can be mitigated from the work side. On the personal side, we can ensure that the information that is there on the work side stays within the work profile and does not go anywhere else. So we can enforce strict action and strict policies through Scalefusion's device profile. And to know more on how exactly it works, do sign up for a trial of Scalefusion and do reach out to Cindes to ensure that they assist you on this.
Yeah, that's right. So that is there is one question from Tanya Chloe. I think she might be interested with this MDM software. She asked, is it available in Indonesia?
Yes, Tanya. Yes, it is available in Indonesia. We have Scalefusion has 8,000 plus customers across 120 plus countries across the globe, and Indonesia as a market is something that is growing from the mobility side of the things. We have quite a few customers from Indonesia as well. One of them being Daria Varia Laboratories, which is a pharma company based in Indonesia. So they are actually managing the various endpoints through Scalefusion, and we are available in Indonesia, and we will be able to assist you with your mobility related uh, problems. And Scalefusion, we will be able to address whatever questions that you may have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sharas. And this is the last questions, I think, from broadcast side. Questions from Bell. How to make sure data is really protected inside the phone and app if someone has the password to log in the phone?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question, Bell. Uh, there is a feature available on Scalefusion called password policy. We can ensure on either if it's a corporate owned device, we can enforce password policy through Scalefusion dashboard, and this password is set by the user. The IT admin, what they can do is they can define what can be the password. Should it be numeric, or it will be it will be alphanumeric, or is it a pattern related, or is it a or is it a face recognition kind of password protection. Let's just say if information is known that this particular password is known to someone other than the device user, you can easily make sure that this password policy can be removed and a new password policy can be set. And you can set up a temporary password to ensure that the phone and the apps cannot be used by this particular non-authorized user. This is in terms of corporate owned devices. When it comes to BYOD as well, we can basically enforce a similar kind of password policy to ensure that the device and the work profile is password protected. In case if someone unauthorized knows the app, knows the password or anything of that sort, we can ensure the necessary actions can be taken. To know more how exactly this works, please sign up for a trial and do get in touch with Cindas.
All right, I think that's it. I think that's it about for the Q&A sessions just now. Thanks for all the questions that you have given in the chat sessions. I hope that you guys are clear with all the answers given by our speaker just now. So that's all for the third episode in this webinar series for today. But please don't leave this webinar yet. Remember what I have mentioned at the beginning of the webinar just now. You must be so curious and eager to know what is the exclusive program that I've been talking about, right? So yeah, the exclusive program I mentioned about is the free Scalefusion MDM trial that is mainly for those who join in our webinar sessions for today. I believe this is also has been mentioned from our guest speaker just now. So if you are keen to know more about how actually MDM works for your business, you may sign up for Scalefusion MDM trial for free. If you are in this room, you may check in the chat session below. Our admin have provided the registration link inside the chat box, and you may directly sign up from the link provided there. All right. And also, there is actually an additional info that I would like to add on here before we all leave. So we are going to have a final episodes of our webinar series on 24th March, which is on Thursday. And in that episode itself, we'll talk about mobile device management as well, but more deeply in retail and food and beverage sector. So if you work in this industry or probably have connections in the sector, you are welcome to invite them to join in our next sessions. You can also join again in our next sessions if you are interested with that topic as well. But before we leave, I would appreciate if you guys could fill in the survey for today's webinar. You may find the survey link provided in the chat and comment sections below. I think the reason why I ask you to complete the survey, this is because it might help us to improve even more in the coming days, and your feedback is extremely valuable for us. So I think this is where we will end our webinar for today. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar and staying with us till the end. We're going to share with you guys more on the upcoming days for sure. And I hope that you guys are able to push your company forward in achieving a better productivity level and to increase your workforce capacity with mobile device management. Okay, if you guys do have any questions or inquiries regarding Scalefusion's MDM, or maybe you would like to give it a try in your company, feel free to contact us through our email hello@cindas.biz, and we'll be forwarding it to our mobility specialist to assist you further on that. Okay. So yeah, let me end this webinar now. I think that's all for today. Until we meet again. Bye. Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.
Scalefusion will expose you on the current industry landscape.
That is where mobile device management solution comes into play.